Divad sat at the edge of the bed, his elbows resting on his knees. His fingers intertwined so tightly his knuckles had turned white. His entire body felt rigid, as if he were made of stone, but inside he was unraveling. The air in the room was heavy, thick with something unspoken, pressing down on him like a weight he could no longer bear. His heart pounded in his chest, each beat a painful reminder of the question gnawing at him. He swallowed hard, trying to steady his breath, but it didn't help. He had to ask. He had to hear the words. "Did you sleep with him?" His voice came out quieter than he had expected, but there was no mistaking the sharpness beneath it. It cut through the silence like a blade, slicing open the fragile reality he was clinging to. Across the room, Sarah stood with her back to him, her hands gripping the edge of the dresser so tightly her fingertips had turned pale. Her shoulders trembled slightly, and though she wasn't looking at him, he could see the tension in every inch of her body. The silence stretched on, suffocating, until she let out a slow, shaky breath. "Devad," she whispered, her voice barely audible. "Just answer me." His voice was firmer now, the words clipped, as if forcing them out before the weight of them could crush him. Slowly, painfully, she turned around. Her face was pale, her lips slightly parted, her eyes brimming with something he couldn't quite read. Guilt, regret, or something far worse. The hesitation in her posture, the way she bit her lower lip, the way she wouldn't meet his eyes. It was all the answer he needed. But he couldn't accept that. He needed to hear it. He needed her to say it. She exhaled again, her chest rising and falling as if bracing herself for impact. Then finally, "Yes." A sharp pain tore through his chest, so visceral it stole his breath. His entire body stiffened as if she had reached inside him and torn out something vital. He had imagined different outcomes: denial, lies, anger. But not this. Not a quiet, simple confirmation that shattered his world in an instant. The silence that followed was unbearable. The soft hum of the ceiling fan, the distant sound of a car passing outside, things he would never have noticed before, suddenly felt deafening compared to the thunderous chaos inside his mind. His breath hitched, his fingers loosening from each other, his hands falling limply to his sides. "Why?" His voice cracked, barely above a whisper. Sarah wiped at her eyes, but the tears kept coming, falling freely down her cheeks. Her throat bobbed as she swallowed, struggling to form words. "I don't know." Devad let out a hollow, humorless laugh, shaking his head in disbelief. "You don't know," he repeated, his voice sharp, cutting. "That's all you have to say." She took a hesitant step forward, her hands outstretched as if to reach for him, but he instinctively recoiled, his body stiffening at the thought of her touch. "Devad, I was lost," she said, her voice trembling. "I was hurt. You were distant and he was there. It just happened." His expression darkened, his jaw tightening as a bitter scoff escaped his lips. "Things don't just happen, Sarah," he said coldly. "Choices happen." His voice was low, steady, but behind it was an agony he couldn't hide. Her face crumpled, fresh tears spilling down her cheeks. "I love you, Devad. It was a mistake." He studied her for a long, excruciating moment, searching her face for something. Some reason, some explanation that would make it all make sense. But all he saw was the woman he had loved, the woman he had trusted, the woman who had just broken him in a way he never thought possible. His breathing was shallow, his chest tight as he ran a hand through his hair. When he spoke again, his voice was softer now, almost gentle, but the finality in it was unmistakable. "Maybe you love me," he murmured. "But not enough." Sarah let out a quiet sob, her hands trembling at her sides. "Please," she whispered. Devad turned away, his gaze locking onto the door. The room, the memories, the life they had built, it all felt foreign now, like something that had belonged to another person. Another time. He knew he could stay. He could listen. He could let her explain. He could try to forgive. But something inside him had already broken. Something that couldn't be put back together. Without another word, He walked toward the door, pausing for just a second. His hand hovered over the handle, hesitation flickering for the briefest moment before he pushed it open. The cool air of the hallway hit him like a wave, but he didn't stop. He didn't look back.